awesome. Finally here, man. Making the dream happen, right?
Yeah, man. We're doing it.
We're doing it, man. So much talk, so much other things which were pretty crazy. Ooh. Yeah.
Mwah.
In between.
Man.
Metal, bro.
Dude, we ran a crazy race, man. You have 2 medals. That's not nice. Man.
Yeah, so
The one.
I mean,
But it's the same, bro. And we earned it.
cheers, man.
Cheers.
Did some crazy stuff.
Dude, that race. Within the first 5 minutes, bro, I could feel the mucus in my lungs. Like
Sure.
all the debauchery
Yeah.
of yours just
Yeah.
like coming out to the surface, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I could
for
feel
sure.
that intensity, man.
The Delhi air being replaced by Himachal air all of a sudden, your body knowing
And not in a nice way. In a way that just kind of like, yeah, it's like burning, like burns your lungs, you know, like
Yeah.
your lung is inside the lava,
Yeah.
the earth, you know.
For sure. And it's something so real about when they talk about acclimatizing and coming in the hills or a new terrain and staying there for a week.
Yeah.
And then, just getting used to the environment. We probably didn't do that, man. We signed up for this hell race 1 week before. There were
Yeah.
guys signing up for it 6 months in advance, training for it. We've just been regular guys running in Delhi air, which is not one of the best airs in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, kudos to us.
Yeah, we were city boys, bro. City boy in it. City boy in it. With the city boy in it. City boy. That's a nice song, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's like a fun song, like a gag song, right? What is it?
Yeah, it's this guy called Lil Duval. He's super short in height, but Duval. Yeah, Lil Duval.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys like Snoop Dogg really likes, and he's such a good comedian, man. So he's not an artist per se, like a musician or something, but
Yeah.
he does almost everything, man. And he's like 5'2". Everybody makes fun of his height.
5'2".
Yeah, he's even shorter than Kevin Hart. perhaps.
Anshul, okay, thought experiment. Imagine being a 5'2" guy, bro. Imagine. I mean, I'm 5'10". I'm like 180 centimeters.
Yeah.
And like, I still feel sometimes like around really tall guys, I feel like, holy shit, I'm short.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like that, man. Like, I was in Germany last year.
Yeah.
And like, dudes are tall over there. Like, my
Yeah,
height
yeah.
over there is average.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
if you're walking around, like, I didn't feel short.
Yeah.
But I did feel like, hey, man, there are like big dudes here.
Bigger dudes. So
bigger dudes.
Did you feel like a certain sense of physical inferiority in terms of like height and build and less masculinity?
Not really, not less masculinity, but I definitely felt that I'm not the tallest guy around. Like, I'm not the tallest motherfucker around here.
I don't know why something about with men and heights, bro, and women with beauty. It's this construct. Men won't feel too weird about not being the most handsome or most beautiful guy around,
Yeah.
but something about the build and the height and how you look.
But bro, तेरे जैसे like school में ऐसे कोई बंदे नहीं थे like who were just like even tall guys used to get roasted all the time by the shorter guys, like
For sure, man.
It wasn't like the tallest guy is the most alpha guy. He could be the dumbest as well. Like he would be one of those guys who's just there for like physical presence, कि हाँ ये लंबा लौंडा है.
Yeah, but don't you think so? All these lambe londe are almost like they got in too easy in life at the very start of their lives. So the shorter guys make up for it by building their personalities, and वो लेने में ज़्यादा better होते हैं. Or, like they have better city boy slangs.
Oh shit, man. Huh.
That
But like
this
imagine being a short guy with no personality. Fuck, man. That's a rough spot, bro.
That's a bad combination.
That's a bad combination.
A killer combination with a fit guy with a good sense of humor and a great face and also well read. Obama.
Dude, I'm sure Obama must be fucking left, right, and center when he was in college, bro. Like, or maybe he was one of the dumb, maybe he was one of those stoner guys, bro. Because he used to smoke a lot of marijuana, right, or something like that, cannabis.
I've seen a video of him smoking in South Africa and just clicking pictures.
Really?
Yeah. And he's
is it legit or is it one of those internet gangs?
No, for sure. I wish we had like a TV here and that'd be like super dope, but we have to blur the.
That's the future, man. These ladies are gonna get transformed by a nice LED screen, and we can just watch some crazy shit with all of you guys, man.
There'd be Obama here in place of a camera, and this Sarpanch guy would be replaced with a joint. The dog would be replaced with a camera, something like that.
Yeah, but this is a nice picture, right?
I think it's handmade. Some of you guys in your family made it, or somebody you
No,
know
I
made
think
it?
we bought this shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's really old, bro.
For sure.
It used to be in my bathroom, like in our previous house, bro.
Back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day. And in fact, I had this other oil painting in my bathroom where there was this. I don't know why the hell. Now that I think about it, why the hell was it even there? It was this lady holding a lemon.
A lemon?
A lemon, yeah.
Okay.
And like she was like this really beautiful looking woman holding a lemon and just posing with a lemon.
Yeah.
And like she wasn't beautiful in the way that it gave me a boner. You know, she was, you know, like she's in your bathroom, like you're taking a dump and you're looking at this woman holding a lemon.
Yeah.
You know, like it didn't really like arouse me.
Yeah.
But I used to look at that picture and think like, nice, okay, like so, you know, somebody made this and why is this here? Like, you know, why is it here? But I never like removed it until we moved out. So yeah, just random shit, you know.
Trying to get used to things you have before you were born and they're just there.
It's like they're there, you don't even know they're
Yeah,
there.
it's like the sun, man. It's just there, and you don't want to replace it with any other color-looking sun, which has the same characteristics and properties. I love the sun. I love the moon. I don't want the moon to be green or anything, you know.
Yeah.
Something about status quo, man, and inertia is so real about things, right? Just want them to be they are. Like, for example, they say a man wouldn't think about being a woman all of a sudden until he really wants it.
Until your girlfriend asks you this question, like, have you ever thought of being a woman? Like, has any girl you ever dated asked you, like, would you ever want to be a woman?
I think you're my only friend or any human I know who's ever asked me that question, and it's crazy to ask that question on camera for the first time, probably national television if it ever.
But dude, imagine being a woman, like, for one day, you just become a woman, and that same day, you get your period.
Ouch! Talking about having the craziest, one of the craziest experiences.
Dude,
of
all the
being a woman.
testimonials that I've heard from women about
Yeah.
their periods, it just sounds fucking terrifying, bro. It sounds painful, man. Yeah, imagine you just bleeding out of your genitals, man. Like, you know, imagine if guys had periods and we were shitting blood out of our penises.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. I'd rush to the hospital, man.
It's just so weird to not have control over your bodily fluids, and I don't know why it had to be the way it is.
Yeah.
Don't you think like there could have been a different way of, you know, a natural thing,
A different way?
a different way of like, you know, just body releasing the tissues in the uterus and not being able to get pregnant in those days, or, you know, whatever the biology around.
You have pills for that, right? So women take pills and they don't get the periods.
They kind of mess up your hormones, but that's what I've heard. You
That's
should
what I've heard
take
as
that.
well. Yeah.
Anything that stops your hormones or alters it in any way, I don't particularly think that'd be good for you, right?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you don't want to go through that pain. Like, you know, you don't know the pain. See, you know what? We were talking about the race, right? So I ran, I think 2 hours into the race after Beaskund.
Yeah.
I went the last elevation, right?
Yeah.
And the last elevation, I saw this kiddo, like 16-year-old kid. She's
Palak.
Palak, yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to that
Shout out to
savage.
Palak. I've only heard stories about Palak. Palak has a YouTube channel. Naman told me.
Yeah, it's called Downhill Rider Palak.
52,400 followers,
Yeah,
something like that.
she's got a ton of subscribers and
Yeah.
she's a badass, man. She's a straight badass chick, dude.
16 years old, man.
But bro, you know what? She told me so many things, man. Like while we were running together, we almost did the last leg, the downhill, and the last climb together. And the first question she asked me was, "Can you see the girl behind you?" Like, because she was competing in the women's category, so she wanted to come first in that. You know, she was so driven. She was like, "I just want to come first. I want to come first."
Wow.
And the girl who was coming first was way ahead of her, so she had already given up on that after some time.
Wow.
But she wanted to like make the podium, basically.
For sure.
So she was like, "Hey man, I don't want to come fourth. At least I want to come third."
Yeah.
And by the time we were climbing, right, she asked me like if the girl is coming. I couldn't see anybody. It was me and Palak. And dude, Palak told me that she is in so much pain right now. She told me like she used to do these cycle races,
Yeah.
mountain biking and all this, because she's from Manali and you know
Yeah.
she's been doing it, and she has a YouTube channel, Downhill Rider. So
Yeah.
she's
She
been doing that shit.
Explores crazy places and makes vlogs about it.
Yeah. And people give a shit about it.
I mean, yeah, for sure, man.
For sure. And like, dude, she was telling me that she's done all her races on her first day of period. Like,
Also races.
she's done 3 biking races,
Okay.
and incidentally, all of them have been on the first or second day of her period. And this is the first time that she did not do a race on her period.
Yeah.
And she twisted her ankle, and she was in so much pain because of the ankle. She said the ankle pains even more than being on your period.
And she told you that while running?
She told me that while running, dude.
Man, what thought she must be having, man. First time I'm not having periods, but I twisted my ankle, you know. There has to be some suffering when I'm running.
I was like, I was so shocked, and
Yeah.
you know, because I don't know what is it. I think we're in a very modern, nice, open time where like 16-year-old kids can talk about
Yeah,
their
for
periods to a 26-year-old guy
Yeah.
they've just met,
Yeah.
and I really appreciated that, man. But at the same time, when she told me about the pain she was in, and she was running, bro. She didn't stop. She just walking and running, and I could feel the pain in her. She was shouting and howling, and tears were rolling down her eyes as she's trying to make time.
Yeah.
And dude, I thought I was in pain.
For sure.
But that was nothing compared to the pain she was in. And I finished the race, and I think about 25 minutes after that she reached. There was some point that she got left behind because she's like, just go, man. I was trying to stick with her, but at the same time I was trying to make my time better because
she was ahead of you or behind you?
When I saw her for the first time, she was ahead of me.
And then because of the injury, she kind of...
Yeah. And then she was coming second when I saw her, but then the third chick just took over her, and she was...
Sure. I mean,
yeah.
When you injure your ankle, that's the only part that you're using the most, man. I mean, imagine... Our friend Raghav, he was a part of this Savage Guy, man.
Savage Guy, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Raghav, dude.
Raghav, you're a savage, bro. And it's great achievement that you finished the race, man. Raghav had like a wrestling injury. He practices mixed martial arts. The same dojo that I went to, courtesy of Raghav itself. And that guy had a meniscus tear, an ACL, MCL, I don't know whatnot. And he went ahead with the race. It's a very fresh injury, and he finished it, man. It wasn't an easy race at all. It's called Hell Race for a reason.
It wasn't easy, man.
For sure.
50% of the people who were in the race were not able to finish the race.
I think statistically 60 close to, but
close to 60.
Yeah, but like
55 or something.
55, 60 people couldn't finish it. That's
a total of 45 people were participating in the race in the 30-kilometer category, and I think 24 completed on time.
Yeah, and I'm just happy to complete that, man. And
you were at the 20th, right?
I was 20th.
Yeah, I was 14th.
14th, the 20th.
But there's nothing to brag about, bro, because at the end of the day, there were some savages.
For sure, man. Something about it looks like an animal's mouth, man. Like, some kind of animal you'll meet in hell that's gonna take away your soul and everything bad that you've done. You're gonna pay for it, and because this animal is gonna just make you pay for it. And that's what we did. We paid for our sins, man. And I feel so cleansed, bro. There's something about, I really want to talk about this. Something about pushing your limits and makes you feel like a better, cleansed human being. And you want to come back and just be nicer to other people.
Yeah.
There's something about not just fitness, I don't want to talk about it in a cliche way, but something about beating your ass on a daily basis and that grind and sweating and just going through the discomfort of waking up early or just finding out time in your day to work out. It makes you a better human being, man.
Yeah.
It's all this accumulated energy when you don't work out. It's just, goes to your mind and just, makes you a little aggressive. Work out.
Yeah, and I feel aggression is not a bad thing, particularly.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit of aggression even generally.
Sure.
But aggression channelized
is smart.
Yeah.
And does good things for the community and puts value out there in the world.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are aggressive for egoistic reasons.
Right.
And aggressive because they're not getting what they think they deserve.
Okay, riddle me this, bro. Isn't there something really weird about somebody who's not physically fit and is aggressive? They're kind of fat and they're kind of weird looking and they can't really speak words properly and they don't have that kind of vibrant energy about them for some reason, and they just feel they have a lot of food stuck in their stomach. 6-month-old food, some laddu is just stuck in their stomach, and they just feel constipated, but they're angry and aggressive, but they're not strong.
They're not strong.
So, but we live in 2020, we're in the 21st century, so there's IPC, Indian Penal Code, you can't just really kill somebody, or just if you get pissed off at someone, you can't beat them up, So if somebody's super annoying and they're not, you're not threatened by them, but they're aggressive, you can't do anything about it. You just want to either cut them out of your lives or you just feel sorry for them.
I swear to God, man, I see the world is full of suffering and there's so much pain and agony already out there. And if you just want to add to that by being aggressive because of some bad lifestyle choices you've been making for the last 6 months, I think that's on you, man.
Do you think working out makes you more calmer?
For sure. That kind of energy channelized in a way and it gets expelled. I see there's some kind of stale energy in us at various places in our body, Kundalini and those chakras. They get stale energy. And if you don't expel those energies, it's just going to just transcend to your mind and make you aggressive and stale itself. And you're not going to be able to see life with that positivity, And everything seems a little dull and your entire outlook about life becomes that. Because I swear to God, I've seen very few healthy individuals who work out on a daily basis talking shitty. They're always in a pursuit to get better, pushing people to get better. You see on Instagram, all of these fitness guys are just a little positive. They got a vibrant face, a good smile, and when you see somebody like that, there's going to be two feelings in you. Either you're going to be envious of the body they have or the way they look, or you're going to be motivated by it. It's completely the mindset.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because, bro, I have a feeling in yoga they say this, right? Like, you are not your body.
Yeah.
You are not your body, and that's a very real thing. You just like your body is this transmitter.
Yeah.
You know, your body is this carrier of your soul.
Yeah.
And this is like super spiritual woo-woo talk,
sure.
but at the same time it's so fucking real. Because
sense.
you know, your soul is what's driving your body.
Yeah.
And when you drive your body and you really like exercise it, you know, put the right things inside it, and then you say the right things, you know.
Yeah.
Even just speech, bro. You know what you say, like honesty.
For sure.
You know, I mean, you know what? I'm guilty of abusing, bro. I mean, yeah, I swear.
Yeah.
I say fuck all the time. I say BC all the time. Sometimes I say MC all the time. Even though I have a feeling like BC, MC, you know, I have like conflating thoughts on that shit, bro. Because at the same time, BC, Bhanchod is a very sexist thing to say. It's like, you know, you're saying go fuck your sister. What the fuck is that? You know, it's not a nice thing to say. But we're in Delhi, like, you know, it's a lingo here.
Yeah, it's a lingo, and the lingo comes like with unconsciousness. You're not being conscious about the meaning behind it, but you said it so often.
Yeah.
It's almost like the N word in America. People don't really mean and have a historical, you know, the backing with it, or, you know, of slavery and apartheid and what, but they just say it, man, you know.
Yeah.
They know it's gonna hurt the other person.
But they don't say it anymore, but like BC is just so regular even today.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
It's
But I would feel, bro, like,
same
I think people, like, I mean, you know, I don't want to tell anybody not to say something. That's a weird, like, you know, if I tell you, hey man, why are you saying BCMC, bro? What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because we gotta preach what we follow, man. First, if I'm not
Yeah,
using
that's
for the
true.
last 1 year or 2 years or 10 years, probably I have, like, you know, that medal on me to be able to say that. But I think we're not on that level. We're city boys, man. And I think time and again, you know, the pollution and the people honking, it gets to your head, man. And all those lingos growing up in school, they come out and you just say it unconsciously. I don't want to say I'm the most aware person in the world, but I'm most conscious about what shit comes out of my mouth these days, man. And I want to be that way. And because of you, I'm also more conscious about what food I put in my body, you know, because I've also been aware of the energy that the food provides me, and that's nutrition is such a thing to take it for.
I ate a burger yesterday, bro. From Cafe di Milano. Shout out to that. It's a really nice place, bro. Went out on a date with this cute chick.
Cute chick.
Yeah, and we ate a burger. I ate a burger. She ate nothing. Dude, she ordered I told you about this, right? She ordered a coffee.
Yeah.
And there was a mosquito that sat on the rim of the coffee, bro. And she did not take a sip.
She didn't take a sip?
She didn't take a sip.
She could have ordered another coffee, you know.
I asked her, she's like, do you want another coffee? Like,
she could have gotten a replacement. If the cafe was good enough, they would have given a replacement.
No, she was like, fuck this, you know, I don't want to. Yeah.
Maybe she isn't into coffee, it's just like coffee thing.
She asked me if you want to go out for coffee. So maybe that's why she offered, got coffee. I actually asked her, like, you know, I think it's a very Western thing. Let's go out for coffee. Yeah. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. You're going to drink coffee, when are you going to sleep?
Yeah.
I'm super sensitive to coffee, bro. If you give me coffee after 12 o'clock in the noon, I'm not going to sleep, bro.
Yeah,
let's go for a party or something.
Caffeine's a drug, bro. It affects your state of mind and your nervous system in crazy ways, man.
Yeah.
I've had like anxiety attacks having like 4 to 5 cups of coffee, and I've not been thinking straight, bro, because, you know, back in the day, you know, when I was gymming, so we probably didn't have a lot of money to invest in different kind of supplements, so we take a protein shake, and right before a pre-workout, you know, coming back from college, we didn't have that much energy because we were super spent by playing football and classes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I just have like shots of coffee before my workout. I swear to God, bro.
That helps, right?
Up. It helps a little bit in the right dosage, but I had decided having it too much.
Yeah.
And, you know, coffee gives you palpitations and like really up heart rate, which isn't too great, bro. Because then you start feeling super nervous. And even before stepping on the treadmill to warm up, you're already warmed up. It raises your body temperature.
Yeah.
Something with your heart, you're feeling it pounding harder.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of strain on your heart.
Have you ever done a all-nighter on coffee?
For sure, right before exams.
Yeah.
Like Red Bull, bro.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, man.
Dude, I was the Red Bull intern for our college.
Yeah.
I used to have Red Bull all the time in my fucking car, man. Like, Red Bull was around me at all times, bro.
Sure.
And I think at some point in my second year, I had this second year annual exams.
Yeah.
I remember drinking 3 Red Bulls,
Yeah.
4 cups of black coffee at about 10 o'clock in the night. Like from 10 till 3 in the morning, I had 3 Red Bulls and 4 cups of coffee. And at 3, I realized I'm not gonna sleep. I'm gonna go and give my exam on this, like, just gonna stay up for the next 4 hours.
Sure.
Bro, I gave a fucking good exam, man. I think I wrote, that exam was so good. I
Sure.
did not sleep, I had no sleep.
Yeah.
You know, apparently you need to
Something
sleep, get your fucking hours.
No, I really believe if you're
I was
on coffee and
on.
having Red Bulls, and if you're on, if you sleep 2 hours, that's when you're messing it up.
I guess.
You shouldn't sleep and
Yeah.
just continue the entire night if you plan to do that. Because
That's what
if
I
you
did.
sleep 2 hours, your body gets into the detox phase and you start cleansing all the shit that doesn't go in your long-term memory.
Right.
And there's a chance you would forget it because you're training your body to just take a rest. So either don't take a rest, finish your exam, and
I don't know how it works, man, but I was a fucking savage that day, man. My eyes, I wouldn't like blink.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
blink, bro.
Yeah.
I was a psychopathic fucking crazy guy who was just like, I think I took like 4 papers, like extra sheets just to write because I was writing so much.
Really?
And I remember, yeah, dude, I remember that. I remember that so clearly. And when I came back home, bro, I crashed. I crashed.
oh, the crash is bad.
It was not bad.
Really?
But I wouldn't do it again, bro.
Remember it?
I remember it very clearly.
Wow.
I will remember it so fucking clear, man. But I won't do it again because I had this feeling that I'm gonna die.
You're gonna die.
Yes. And not in a weird way. Like,
Yeah.
not like, okay, I'm gonna die, take me to the hospital. But I felt like if I do this again, I'll die.
Oh, like a bad feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a really fucked up feeling, man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but caffeine is like any other, one of those motherfucking crazy drugs.
It's drugs, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know
And
how
it's so legal, right?
It's so legal, man. I don't know how, because and it's just like marijuana. It's grown on, the ground on earth.
Mhm.
There are plantation drives for it.
Mhm.
And
Imagine if coffee was illegal. Imagine if coffee was like cannabis or like cocaine or something like that.
Something
What's the
like
difference between cocaine and caffeine?
caffeine, I don't put it.
It's almost similar, right?
Yeah, but caffeine in a lower dosage is good for your mind. Studies have shown. Caffeine, not cocaine. But cocaine, I don't think cocaine is more addictive than coffee, is what I've heard. But caffeine can also get super addictive.
For sure.
Yeah, in
I
the
know
West,
some people.
In the West, bro, I don't know people like that, but in the West, a lot of people, first thing they do is have a cup of coffee before office, and they can't function well if they skip a coffee or their shelf gets empty. They
Right.
can't function well.
I remember talking to this Italian woman I met at my yoga TTC,
Yeah,
and she told me about how in Italy, like, coffee is super normal.
yeah,
Like, yeah, people just like take shots, like
Yeah.
espresso shots
Yeah.
all the time, like,
Yeah.
and it's super social, super chill, and
Yeah.
and it doesn't fuck with their sleep because I think it's a generational tapering down of tolerance. Like, probably they have a much higher tapering up. Sorry, like they probably have a
Yeah.
very high tolerance of caffeine.
Yeah.
Like their great grandfathers. But it's so weird because Europe doesn't grow any coffee.
really?
Yeah,
Is that
like-
true? Entire Europe?
Entire Europe, all of it comes from Africa or South America or India or some places like that.
I had no idea about that.
But
man.
we have a colonial past, right? The world has a colonial past. So
For
coffee
sure.
was like one of those really
Yeah.
loved, treasured.
Opium. Yeah, they did opium wars for that shit, man.
Yeah.
They had
China was big in opium.
China, they had war with China for opium, bro.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Opium wars.
Yeah, they sent like.
Who
soldiers
had
to
wars
India.
with China?
Britishers. They had wars with China to get their opium, to get into their markets and get it, but somehow like they got saved, man. And, I don't know,
Yeah.
crazy shit, bro. Opium.
Crazy.
So much like the same way I was talking to my uncle today, bro. I went to his place in the army camp. He's a Navy guy, by the way, really fit. He clocked in 2,200 kilometers in the last 100 years. Same medal he got.
2,200 kilometers.
He deserves it.
You gotta like
He
specify
deserves
that
it.
shit, bro. 22?
200 kilometers.
That's like India.
So
From top to bottom, right?
Yeah, precisely in the 100 days, yeah. So from Ladakh to Kanyakumari and
He did 2,200 kilometers in 100 days.
100 days, and he
Really?
deserves this medal much more than me, man. I clocked in probably 500 kilometers and did a 140 kilometer trek during the lockdown. That's probably not the best idea with grandparents living with me, but yeah. I clocked like 600, 650 kilometers overall, but he did 2,200 and he's like 50 plus, about to get retired. And he's a savage.
Was it the same person we met in Chankarvia?
Yeah. So coming back to the point, what he was discussing today about electric vehicles.
Mhm.
And there's something about electric vehicles that like a lot of people don't know is back in 1920s or 10, I don't know the exact year, but the same period, initial 1900s, is they had competition between a thermal engine, a petrol, coal, and an electric vehicle. They already had an electric vehicle, and when they competed on 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer stretch, the electric vehicles won. So we already knew the power which would be harnessed from the electricity in automobiles, but the lobbies around petrol and diesel were so strong that they did not let the innovation happen then. It was only when Tesla came, Elon Musk, he had to go through a lot of logistical issues and like red tapeism and political issues because there were strong lobbies for oil that did not want a market for automobile, which is huge and they're probably the largest consumers of oil. They want to stop him, so he did not get funding right. And also some states in USA did not let him open the factories or provide him the kind of subsidy he was looking for. So he was the founder of PayPal. The money he got from the shares, he put it in like two of his companies,
SpaceX and Tesla, and the Boring Company.
So the guy really made it happen, and
he's a baller. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Bro, he's a smart guy. I'll tell you why I again think he's a smart guy is because when we talk about SpaceX, he knew that NASA. You know what he did with the rockets? Like he reused the rockets.
He's the first person who's been able to do that.
And imagine the amount of taxpayers.
His team is the first bunch of people who've been able to do that.
It goes to the team.
It goes to the team. 100%.
Not one guy, but the leadership, bro.
For sure.
Because a lot of people could have thought how much taxpayers' money is being wasted in launching and then rebuilding the launch pad again. He said, let's not waste taxpayers' money. Space exploration is not feeding hungry people anyway. Why not save money there? There's a lot of redundancy in economy.
And there's a lot of money to be made in the space, man. There's like all kinds of minerals and natural resources that need to be mined and probably brought back to Earth, or maybe just like create infrastructure in celestial bodies, something like that.
I mean, they're messing up South Africa for Colton, right?
Dude, like remember when we were in Solang on the 16th of October during the no moon day, and we looked up in the sky like
Amavasya ki raat.
Bhai,
Burwa, man, it was such a good night.
क्या था भाई? The sky is so lit, bro.
That's crazy.
The sky is so lit. Like if you really think about how many celestial bodies there are above us and below us, it's insane. Like you can't like really fathom how much there is.
How much there is, and those stars are like could be years, millions of years old, and we're just getting their light right now. They're probably not even there. It's so crazy to even think about.
Dude.
The stars we see are not present anymore. They must be black holes or something. So old, you can't predict the age.
Right.
It's a light that comes in so late because they're so far away.
Dude, but isn't it so weird that we've been deprived of this crazy universe, like the space show because of lights, because of fucking street lights?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even in Burwa, like there were all these hotels which had these huge lights, like really crazy floodlights, and they were like blocking out all the potential stars that we could have seen.
People care
Dude,
about
I remember sitting on the terrace of our hotel room and just looking outside in the night, and I think I saw 3 shooting stars.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like these gas tails that they had, man. Like, fucking just moving in the sky, bro. These things are just moving and you can see them, and apparently you can make a wish.
I was gonna ask you, did you make a wish?
Yeah.
You believe in it?
I don't know. But people
don't want to work for it. Just make a wish and make it happen. Get me up.
I just made a wish to a shooting star. I'm gonna sit on my ass and not do shit.
Yeah, so I make a wish to just go to my hotel room and find a new MacBook Pro under my pillow.
Yeah, please.
And the Star Ferry just gives it to me so that I can make really good quality podcasts. So it's such a jugaad, man. We did it. It's this place is. I want to shout out to Naman, man, because I had no idea he's got this amazing bachelor pad area which he was renting out on Airbnb to people. He's such a smart guy, man. He's making money with the.
You gotta make some moolah, bro. You gotta make some money.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Already. And you've been given such amazing handmade paintings to those guys.
But you know what, man? I really like. You give a shout out to me. I would like to give a shout out to my grandfather, bro.
Sure.
That I don't even want to call him a motherfucker. That's a disrespectful thing to say. But man,
but
that
in a good
guy,
way, you want to call him
savage, bro. He's
man.
He joined the army when he was 15 back in 1950 or something. He joined the boys, bro. Like there's a regiment called the boys.
The boys?
Yeah, you just raise your hand and you join the army basically. Like
Really?
bharti hua, yeah, bro.
That's amazing.
Bharti in the army.
That's amazing, man.
The boys.
The boys.
Some boys with
The
rifles,
boys.
the strong men.
Yeah.
At
And he used to
15,
play boxing and play hockey and all these things, you know, in the
back in
army.
the day, like guys at 15 would be 25 man equivalent to what we are today.
For
They-
sure.
There were more men than.
We're much softer, man. Much softer.
Much softer, bro.
Dude, he saw his father getting killed during the partition, bro. Like his father got killed, his mother and his father got killed in the partition, man.
He saw them getting killed. He was there.
He actually I don't know if he's seen them getting killed, but sometimes I think he's created it in his head. So sometimes when he talks to me
Yeah.
about it, he tells me he's seen it. But
Yeah.
then sometimes he says he hasn't seen it. But like I think he has this picture in his head.
Of
So
how
he's
it
probably
would have happened.
Yeah. So I think he's probably seen it in his head. Like he's created this memory. He's 90, dude. You know, so like memories are so fragile,
Yeah.
like so malleable.
I'm
anyways.
pretty sure with the film industry growing with him, he must have seen some images and now he's 90. He could have related fragments.
No, I don't
of-
think he needs a movie to like create.
I'm
those
sure, but
memories.
he would have.
He saw a lot of shit.
You know, heard so many things. He could have like made an image out of it. He's 90.
Absolutely. He saw a bunch of people getting killed during the partition.
For
Man.
sure,
He was
for sure.
14, like
Yeah.
a really young guy when they were moving from
He was in the
our
army.
village.
He was in the army, bro. I'm 100% sure.
Bro, he moved to Delhi to India from
Yeah.
Pakistan. The new like
Really?
we're like my blood is like Punjab in Pakistan. Like
Really?
there's a village called Viram Datta in Pakistan where all our ancestors used to live.
You're Naman Datta.
Yeah.
You're from Viram Datta.
Yeah.
Do you hate Pakistan?
I don't hate Pakistan. Why should I hate Pakistan, man?
You don't?
I don't hate Pakistan.
What are your feelings
If
about
fucking
Pakistan?
media people are gonna tell me to hate Pakistan,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate Pakistan. They don't have their shit together anyway.
Yeah, why do you want to hate
I don't wanna hate anybody,
an
man.
inferior state anyway?
Yeah, it's an inferior state, and we keep comparing ourselves to Pakistan for some reason, man.
I think
Look
we
at that
stop
fucking
that.
country. It's a fucked up country,
Yeah, we
man.
stop that.
They don't even have alcohol. Do you know? They don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it has to do something with Islam. And
Yeah,
Muslims don't
it's a
really-
religious state. It's
religious
a fucked
thing.
up religious state. They don't. Cannabis is not legal.
Yeah.
Alcohol is not legal. You can't go outside. I don't know. I've never been to Pakistan. There are a lot of stereotypes, but it's a
But,
state law to
yeah.
not have alcohol. When
Alcohol
you-
is not legal in Gujarat too, man. And with Modi being in power and Yogi Adityanath coming up, I think it could be a thing. Guys, stock up your beers. Alcohol doesn't expire, so let's
Maybe you
get
should
up.
start a brewery, bro, like
Yeah.
an underground brewery kind of thing, you know.
That'd be underground brewery.
Yeah, like if something like this happens, so we just have our
Criminal shit.
supply of beer
Ooh.
at all times.
Yeah, like we have a supply
dude,
for
I'm-
stash.
Yeah, that's coming back to Pakistan, bro. What are your thoughts on this, man? Why are we made to hate Pakistan? What is it like? It's because you know what? When my grandfather hates Pakistan, I understand it.
Yeah.
Because he has really seen it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm born in 1994. Fucking how many years after independence? I don't give a shit if like you know I didn't see my ancestral village.
Yeah.
I don't. My Muslims didn't kill my father, but they killed my ancestors. I don't hold any grudge, man.
You don't hate Muslims per se, but you
My
hate the
grandfather- you know-
idea. I think what you're asking, you hate the idea of like what Britishers gave us, divide and rule.
Mhm.
They made like Hindu and Muslims and made a Muslim state and say primarily India could be like Bharat or Hindustan.
Mhm.
And so we hate the idea of separation because they separated us. We don't really blame the guys who started East India Company and the guys who started the divide and rule thing,
Mhm.
but we hate the state now because it's easier to hate somebody who's inferior to you. Why not hate the guy who initiated it? Like
Yeah.
Shashi Tharoor really gives it back to the UK people, man,
Hmm.
and says, we need repatriation of our money. Whatever you've done, like the Bengal famine during World War II, our soldiers were not fed, the people in Bengal were not fed, you were taking all the food away. And I know it was World War
Yeah.
II, but you know,
Son of a bitch, Winston Churchill.
Yeah,
What a
he-
son of a bitch.
what
bro.
a son of a motherfucking
Yeah.
bitch, man. He's revered as one of the best leaders, but he was.
He was son of a bitch. man.
Yeah, bro. I'd probably.
SOB.
The more I know about him, the more I read about him, I don't like that guy too much.
Yeah, I mean, he was a fat fuck who wanted to kill a lot of Bengalis, you know.
But he was
If you're
a
Bengali, you
smart
don't
guy.
like Winston Churchill. And if you do like him, I don't know, man. It's such old shit.
Yeah, he's revered as the leader of World War II who ended it. You know?
Yeah.
He did not.
No,
This
World
guy's
War
like
One.
Alan Turing. World War One?
Yeah.
No, I think World War II.
I don't
1945.
know, I don't know.
Hitler died in World War II, 1945 around.
Yeah.
So Winston Churchill was then fighting Hitler with Stalin and Russia's support and America's support.
Right,
So
right,
I think
right.
it was World War II for sure.
Yeah.
World War One was 1918, around that
Ottoman
time.
Empire.
Ottoman Empire
Yeah.
and French, all those guys.
Right.
World War II was like Japanese allies with Germany, American.
Yeah, but dude, you know what, man? I really when my grandparents talk about how you know fucked up it was to make it to India and then create a life for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, as I was saying, he joined the boys and then he made his way, like, you know, learned English.
Yeah.
You know, something that we've been talking in English, bro. Like, we take it
All this
as
time.
like nothing. Like, okay, we've been studying English since kids, like, you know.
I want to
But
ask
for
you,
them,
does it come naturally to you to speak in English or Hindi, man?
That's a good question, man. I asked this man. मैं बहुत पूछता हूँ bro अपने आप से एक सवाल कि भाई क्या है? Like, why do I talk
more in English.
more in English? Why is it? Is it like neo-colonialism? Have our brains been transformed into this system where we can't think in our own language? Because sometimes I don't think in my own language. I think in English, bro.
Me too, bro.
And it's a mix of, like, it's Hinglish, you know, as they call it.
And that's what I feel like. Can our viewers relate to us if we just speak in English?
I don't give a fuck, man.
But it just comes so naturally to me. English has become such an international language. It gives me access to be able to travel to different nations and not
the
learn
best.
their language. It's nice.
Dude, you can actually communicate with people within your own country, dude. When you meet people from the south, they don't speak Hindi. But you can talk to them in English.
English for sure.
You know, people think of India as this Hindi-speaking country, which it is not.
It's not at all.
It's not.
I mean, there was a huge upcry when they tried to make Hindi the national language, and all the southern states came together and said, like, in the constitution, you can't make that amendment. So we had to make it English and Hindi for official purposes, for writing and speaking.
And that makes sense, man, because English is one of those languages you can speak to anybody, and you can speak to them in English.
What do you think
can
that is?
exchange ideas. Because fucking Britishers, bro. Yeah, Winston Churchill, man, that fat dick.
It's not just Winston Churchill and guys before that, but for sure, I get your point.
Yeah.
Talking about, man, historically, India was such a superpower. Such a superpower back in the day, man. And
India?
Yeah, we had like the Silk Route, we had the spices going on, and China back in the day was like, Asia was the power axis. China were the first people who made gunpowder. And gunpowder and chess and, you know, chaturanga and all those things and yoga and religion, which was like massive back in the day, right? So we had those. India was superpower, man. Unexplored. They didn't have ships, but we had a Silk Route going on and good trade with the entire world.
Yeah.
What happened, man? How were we so complacent? Like, we had the Buddha, like Siddhartha coming in India and teaching everybody Buddhism. So a lot of rulers said, okay, we'll give you a shot, and then you know their kids would give up the kingdom, and they would change the entire structure of the society because everybody became Buddha and went into self-realization. And then Shankara came, and Shankara said, okay, let me push Hinduism.
See, that's the thing, right? You can't rule the world with self-actualization. You have to like start a company like EIC, like East India Company. You gotta be capitalistic to rule over people, man. East India Company came in with their balls big, bro. They came in and they had an army. They had they hired Indians into their army. They used to pay Indians to fight for them. And literally they used to fight territorial wars with rulers. And they have lost wars, but they won more wars. So they just took over, man. They fought the Marathas. They fought the Mughals. They fought everybody, bro, and they won because they were better. Who gives a fuck about Buddha, man? Buddha just sat on his fucking ass and you just meditated, man. No offense to Buddha.
We needed somebody like Buddha, for sure.
For sure. I mean, but like the thing is that in the real world and in the real context of things, when you have somebody who's so powerful like the British Empire, you can't sit and meditate and fight them. You can't.
So you think you can't do the Gandhi way?
No.
Non-violence, एक मुंह पे चांटा मारो तो दूसरा गाल आगे कर देंगे.
Dude, do you really think we got independence because of Gandhi's non-violence thing? Or do you think we got it because the world was moving towards decolonization and the British Empire was collapsing throughout the world and they were trying to... And because the Americans had asked the British to withdraw from India because they wanted to give support in the Second World War. That was one of the conditions.
Sure. So I think I see it as if Britishers did not want to leave India, they would not have. But Gandhi as a leader, like Nelson Mandela in South Africa, had a leadership to unite people and say civil disobedience. We know we don't have the weapons and we don't want to be killed by you. We'll just bow down and not obey orders. And there is unity in not obeying orders. How long can you sustain? And also like, things like Lagan and those movies are really out there, man.
क्या बढ़िया मूवी थे वो.
कचरा बॉल करा टेढ़े हाथ से. कचरे ने क्या बॉल कराए भाई. Crazy कर दिया. We beat them at their own game. Like cricket today is like shitting on their goddamn face. Look at Virat Kohli, bro. Such a savage Delhiite, man.
Dude, Virat Kohli is like the creme de la creme of athletes that India. Like he's a complete athlete.
Yeah, and he wasn't like that. He was like Splitsvilla, fat boy, fat coming out of his cheeks,
Yeah.
and like having chole bhature in Punjabi Bagh. His family is still there and drinking
Yeah.
a lot of beer and such a womanizer talking to Bani ji. There's a video of Virat Kohli. It's just for learning perspective, guys. Like you're
Sure, he was a Delhi boy like us,
Yeah.
man.
It's an exponential graph of growth, man.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli is just a proof how much you can achieve, man. He married a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And I hope it's still recording, bro.
Yeah, it is recording. Yeah.
I'm so happy, man.
We don't want to fuck this up, bro.
We got a Jugadu. we messed up our tripod stand, so we got Naman's Russian author's book and his old.
We'll add this in the video, bro. We'll just like add, yeah, for sure.
Like,
We'll
right swipe and see our entire room. Everything is so messed up behind the camera.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's
We gotta do things, man. We just gotta be able. But you were talking about Virat Kohli.
And Virat Kohli, like, exponential graph, bro. That guy has beaten records of Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah.
I could be so wrong. I don't follow cricket that much, but like, he hasn't beaten Virendra Sehwag's, in Test series, but on every other 2020.
I think by the time he's done, he's just gonna break all the records.
He
man.
is a savage,
Yeah.
hard-working, left chole bhature, left rotis,
Yeah.
got fitter and fitter, and he is a machine now, man.
Yeah, dude.
And everybody says there's nobody who stepped on the field like Virat Kohli, but the way
Yeah.
he comes in, Delhi
Yeah.
boy, Shah Rukh Khan, Virat
He has
Kohli.
this like presence on.
Has this presence.
You feel it
Aggressive.
through the TV, man. When you see
Yeah.
him like really animated
Yeah.
and the way he goes about his job. This
Yeah.
is his job, right? Like
Sure.
he gets paid to play cricket.
Yeah.
But when you actually see him do it, and when you see him bat, bro, like as you said, I'm not really into cricket as well, but I love watching Virat Kohli play.
Sure.
I just love it. I love when people have this kind of distilled passion for the thing that they're doing, man.
For sure.
Even when we're sitting here and talking right now, bro, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
too.
as passionate about podcasting when it comes to as compared to Virat Kohli being passionate about cricket at this point.
At this point.
At this point.
Maybe we would be.
Maybe that's the thing, because I really enjoy it, man. You gotta be passionate about what you're doing, dude.
What you doing, man? That's
You
what
feel it, man. You feel
Yeah.
it through the fucking person. When I see Virat Kohli playing cricket, or like taking those strokes, or like shouting when he's fielding or something like
Sure.
that, I'm like, this motherfucker is all in.
Yeah.
He's all in, bro.
Yeah, he's all in, bro.
He's all
tuned
in.
He's tuned in. He might not be like Dhoni,
Yeah.
or a leader like that, but
He
he's
has no
Ronaldo.
plan B, bro.
He's Ronaldo of cricket, bro. He's the likes of
Absolutely.
Ronaldo. He's like, I don't know, man. Khabib of UFC. Talking about Khabib, man.
Oh, bro, I can't
Tomorrow morning,
man.
Khabib versus Gaethje. Who's your prediction, man?
Dude, smash your boy.
I'm gonna smash your boy, guys.
I know you don't like this. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, not me, guys. It's the Alhamdulillah.
Bro, you know what? I want to break this down. What Khabib does. When he does this, and then he looks up and he's like, bro, that is so powerful, man.
That's powerful, bro.
So fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Like, I have goosebumps right now. What he's
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is, I'm nobody.
Put my faith in the Lord.
I have Ishwara Swadhisthana, bro. I'm gonna fucking surrender and
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking dominate, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not me. Like, as I said, he's not his body, bro. When he's inside that cage, it just feels like something takes over him, bro.
Yeah.
He's so dominant.
Yeah, he's something else, bro.
And he has a physical capability to really dominate as well.
And he doesn't look like the kind of guy with that gas tank. I'll be honest, when I looked at Khabib, he looked like a guy with really huge head.
Uh-huh.
Good wrestler, but there's something about Khabib's muscle not protruding that much. He looks like a normal guy, big enough wrestler with cauliflower ears. I mean, that's an indicator that guy gonna smash you, man. He's gonna smash the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Khabib, bro, he is something. He doesn't look what he's gonna do to you, but he's gonna do it 10x.
Yeah.
Simple looking guy.
Dude, it's so crazy.
Beat you, the strongest man, the most dangerous man, the eagle.
He's so dominant, man.
Yeah.
Like, what do you even think about people like this? Like the kind of upbringing he's had.
Yeah.
Just that's
His father, Abdul Manap.
yeah. He died of COVID.
Yeah, he was too old, man.
So weird, right?
I mean, so weird. I thought.
He's such a fit guy, Abdul Manap. Like when you think about it, like he's always been into fitness. He's always been into fucking martial arts and stuff. But then you die of COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
exactly.
sad.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's very sad.
COVID could be detrimental to so many people, and
Yeah.
they say the survival rate is high, but for old people, it can be really messy, man, and
Yeah.
really dangerous and detrimental.
Dude, do you remember when we did the podcast in Feb?
Yeah.
And we were talking about China?
Yeah.
You remember we were talking about China and you were telling me about how you were working for Oppo and like how they like
Yeah.
we never talked about COVID at that point in time. That was mid-Feb and COVID was
Yeah.
kinda there,
Kinda
but
there.
we didn't really know about
We
it.
had
right?
no idea.
We had no
what-
fucking idea what was coming, man.
Yeah, no idea about the stock market and shares crash and what
Yeah.
we should have bought, man, and be rich and be able to pay for our studio. and
Actually, I
that.
did buy shit in April, like
That's
May,
amazing, bro.
a little bit, not too much, but I
A little
did buy
bit,
shit.
like, that's good, bro. That's smart.
See, you know, that's the thing, man. Like, you know, I dislike stock market, bro. I like to invest in it, but I hate talking about it. I hate talking about it because it's like one of those scummy things. You know, like
What's
when you.
scummy?
I'll tell you why. Because you know, when I heard you were talking about Virat, it's like scum, man. Like you know,
It's
tar,
scummy.
like tar.
Scummy.
You know, like how your feet get stuck in tar, like a road that's being made.
It's so addictive. You told me of Virat's dad, man.
Bro, yeah, that's
so
what.
sad.
Yeah, it was very sad, man. Virat Kohli's dad died of a heart attack because of the stock market.
Losing money in stock market.
Yeah.
Had he stayed alive, he would have gotten 10x from Virat.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
But he didn't kill
100%.
himself, it just happened.
Yeah, you can almost imagine, like, say, if you've invested all of your money into something and it just crashes because of you have no control over it. Like, these are things you have no control over.
For sure.
You know, they say mutual fund sahi hai. Maybe that's a good thing, but when you have individual stocks that you invest in and they crash, what the fuck do you do?
Can't do nothing, man.
Yeah, man, it's so weird.
That's why they say don't put your eggs in the same basket. Invest in different shares. Who the fuck invests in just one share all their life except this one guy
Yeah.
who came on Z Business.
I saw that. It almost
It
seemed fake. Like, okay,
No,
so
it's not. It's
it was a phone
fake.
call of a person whose grandfather had bought MRF,
MRF
shares,
shares.
21,000 MRF shares.
Yeah.
Something like that?
When they were 9,000 or 7,000.
Yeah.
And he sold it at like 60,000 or something.
Yeah.
Getting the price right.
Yeah.
And the
And
guy
they had like paper shares.
And-
He had paper shares that he had to convert to
Yeah,
demat.
and he had no idea what to do. He's a guy from a village. And I said, जी मेरे दादाजी ने 1990 के अंदर MRF के कुछ शेयर्स लिए थे और 21,000 शेयर उन्होंने मुझे दिखाया. आज वो पैरालाइज्ड हैं और उन्होंने मेरे नाम करा है. तो आप मुझे बता सकते हैं कि इसकी आज वैल्यू क्या है? कहते हैं रवि आप एक सेकंड होल्ड करिए. हमारे पैनलिस्ट बताएंगे. रवि आप 160 करोड़ के हकदार हैं. Like, Ravi, your grandfather was a savage.
He
bro.
was a savage,
He
bro.
was a visionary, man.
For
Ravi.
sure.
He did something great for you. And
Yeah.
he calls like 3 months later, and you know what he does? Sir, मैंने वो सारे शेयर्स बेच दिए. अब मैंने मतलब काफ़ी शेयर्स बेच दिए और मैं चाहता हूँ कुछ ऐसे मेरे दादाजी जैसा अपने बच्चों के लिए इन्वेस्ट करूँ. तो मैंने शेयर्स में ही इन्वेस्ट करे हैं लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से. मैंने और कुछ शेयर्स लिए हैं 50-30 हज़ार रुपए के, you know. And I'm like, good, Ravi. Ravi's learning it, but you know, MRF is 50-70,000.
Dude, it's almost like winning the lottery, right? Like you kind of make like 100 crores from share market.
Bro, but his
Like,
dada invested so much anyway.
maybe that's why he's
80,000 share.
paralyzed because he did a lot of share market shit and he just lost control. Like he's like, I can't do this shit anymore. But he made a good investment.
Yeah, so 21,000 shares at 9,000 is also in crores anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money. Dada
I think it was a
invested.
fake call, bro. Honestly, like I had this. Yeah, I because you know TV channels, TV channels are suffering, bro. Who the fuck watches TV?
I'm sure.
Who the fuck watches TV?
It's so amazing that Charu always comes.
Hello,
Always
come
comes.
join us. Okay. Oh my god, you're gonna break me, bro.
Oh, nice.
That was so sweet.
That was sweet.
So sweet.
Does Charu do that usually?
No, never.
Never ever?
Never. She will never come randomly and give me a hug.
That's
But
so
this
nice.
was very nice. I
That's so
love it.
sweet of your sister, man.
Dude, that's the thing, man. Like
My sister
we're just love, bro. We just want love. You even if you're living with family, you're living with your girlfriend, you're living with anybody, you're living with your parents, you're living with your grandparents, you're living with your dog. Whoever is around you, they should feel love, man. If you don't have love to give
Yeah.
or receive, what is life? If you have 21,000 MRF shares and you don't have a fucking person to give you a hug, what's the point of life?
That was so sweet, man. I swear to God, like people learn from this guy, man. I mean, I've been aggressive and a little more on the dominant side all my life, but I really realize how important it is, and I want to be able to give back to society like that. I'm just gonna hug my security guard for the work he's done throughout COVID, but
For sure, man, you
but,
should do that.
Yeah, probably with 2 masks. And, yeah.
Give him one of those gas masks, bro. I've ordered that. 3M, you know 3M, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, they have this gas mask on Amazon. I've ordered that shit, bro.
Really?
Because, yeah, it's gonna get. Bro, if you think the government's gonna come and save us, it's not happening, bro. The air is gonna get worse.
Yeah.
And when Diwali happens and all these educated dumb fucks are gonna start bursting crackers, we're all gonna get suffocated and choked to death, bro.
Bro, I swear to God, I would hate it to know that there are stupid people out there breathing the same air and willing to make it more impure.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's almost like shitting in your commode and never flushing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like just pouring in the same thali and never cleaning it, and uski upar hi khana har din usi mein dal ke kha rahe.
Haan.
Just a bad fucking way to live, man.
Yeah, it's gunk.
It's gunk. You're a bad, unhygienic piece of shit that wants to take away India from the map.
Right. Dude, just the other day when I was going for my date, like
Yeah.
on the way, there's this road called Pankha Road.
Yeah.
And on Pankha Road, bro, I see these 3 guys burning a pile of plastic.
The
This
poor
is-
guys.
Huh?
Are they poor guys?
I don't know, man. I actually wanted to go and like tell them what the fuck are you doing, but like I was getting late. Yeah, I was
It's
getting
more
late. Bro.
important than fucking. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's more important than the health of
Sometimes
this
it is.
society.
Depending
you
on
know.
how heavy your balls are, right?
Yeah.
You've got blue balls.
Dude, my date was late, bro. She was late by like 15 minutes.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't appreciate it, man. Like, I mean, I've been late for dates in.
It's okay if women are late, but if men do that, it's like such a
blasphemy.
turn-off. Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you make a woman wait at evening and no idea about you gonna pay for the date anyway? So I mean, didn't know if you were coming and I didn't want to order.
I don't think it's about the paying part. I think it's about commitment. Like, if you and you know,
kind of make it like this stereotypical shit. I don't believe in that. Equal pay, equal spend.
But I did pay for the. Dude, I have a feeling like if you take a girl out on a date, especially if you've asked her out,
Yeah.
just pay for the fucking bill, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, why? It's the first date. You're seeing her for the first time. You don't know the chick. You've asked her out. She wants to come out with you. She wants to.
Is it a turn off if you say or initiate and say like अपना dete hain 50%?
Actually, you know what I really appreciated? She actually offered to split the bill.
They
She
always
said-
do, and you know.
They don't always do. They always do? Like, sometimes you
Yeah,
just do it and
I-
maybe they'll say something like, I'll do it next time. Even that's fine.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They never meet you again. I'll
That's
pay-
never happened. I mean,
I'll
I'm not
pay-
even bragging, it's never happened.
I'll pay in kind, not cash. You know.
For sure.
You know
I mean,
you're gonna get
experiences matter more than a Gandhi. Dude.
Yeah, you're gonna get some boy.
Yeah,
Come for
bro.
a goddamn coffee.
You're gonna get some of those titties, huh?
Motherfucker. Give me. I'm gonna just. I'm
Oh,
just-
for sure. I mean, like, hey, man, you know what is it? If you
Yeah.
pay for a girl's bill, like, if you
Yeah.
pay for your date, like,
Yeah.
you took your date out and you guys had a good time and you pay the bill,
Yeah.
it's not an obligation for her to, like, get physical with you and, like,
Yeah,
for you
for
to
sure.
get physical with her.
For sure.
But there is something, there's this, it's the Zahabian signal, bro. You know, if you're able to afford a meal for a woman, there is some part of her which kind of gets a little excited and thinks like, hey man, this guy can afford to pay for food.
Yeah.
You know, this guy can pay for me. So, you know, I can feel secure around him. So maybe I'll kiss him, or maybe he'll kiss me, or maybe we'll like, you know, have a relationship or something.
There's
I mean,
something about it. You're right, man.
the girls don't want to date broke guys, and
don't
definitely not in their 20s. Like this was fine. Maybe if I had no money and I was 19, girls didn't give a fuck. You know, it was fine. Like we could just chill in the fucking place or something like that. Even
I wouldn't want to date a broke chick too who's
Yeah.
dependent on me, because I don't believe in the idea of being
that's a big turn off.
of being sugar daddies, unless there's no unless, bro, because I don't want to be a sugar daddy like that.
Yeah.
Dating somebody really young to me just for like her looks. I'd want somebody to like have a stimulating conversation and be open enough to the idea of paying and being financially independent, because that comes with such a lot of personality growth.
Right.
And I would like, want to date a mature woman who
Mhm.
works and understand the capitalist system and just grinds her ass, man.
For
I
sure.
was willing to say, I'm going to split the bill with you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that'd be amazing.
At least say it.
Just say it.
Yeah, just say
Fucking
it.
say it. I'll pay
And
it
if it's-
anyway.
And you know what, man?
I'll pay it anyway.
You know, the thing is, if it's the third date or the second date for that matter, or the fourth or whatever, like it's not the first date, basically.
Yeah.
If you do split, I would be happy if we split the bill. If that makes you comfortable, I wouldn't pay for the bill all the time, bro. Like it's like you almost want the girl to also invest into the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're not the only person like, you know, shelling money out all the time, because then it becomes like a dependent relationship. Like she knows that you're gonna pay every time.
Yeah.
It just becomes an unwritten contract sort of thing.
Setting a tone for it anyway. You know, you're setting the tone for other dates.
Yeah, you can't stand up for yourself, and you can't even say to the chick, hey, do you mind splitting the bill?
I think I would after the second date or third
For
date.
sure,
I
yeah.
would say, you know,
If she doesn't offer, you know, if she doesn't offer to pay,
maybe just to see her reaction, say, I forgot my wallet, oh my god. And she's like, you forgot your wallet? Dun dun dun, like ek laga serial. Ding.
oh, we're gonna do some dishes tonight, baby.
Kere, you deliberately did that, didn't you? Deliberately do that, man. But yeah, I mean, it's so crazy, man. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
shit can get awkward real quick, bro.
yeah, but I've like actually, honestly speaking, I've never had this situation where I've always paid for the bills. Where if we've gone out with the girl, like if I'm dating a girl, like she's my girlfriend, and we go out. This is the 7th time we've gone out. After the first few dates, it becomes a little normal for the bill to be split.
Yeah.
You know?
It has to be like that with all the
For
talk
sure.
of feminism and equal pay and everything and equal
Not even
status
that.
in
It's
society.
like you want. As
You
I'm
want
repeating
equal
myself.
stuff.
You want you don't want to be a sponge.
Yeah,
You know,
I
a
mean,
sponge. You know, she
yeah.
just fucking like she wants to go out and eat food all the time.
Reciprocity.
Huh?
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Dignity,
And
respect.
I think can we have like a survey thing, because we're asking doing a
For
lot
sure.
of social things. So guys, put it down in comments. Is it majority of the times guys paying the bill or girls initiate it? What's your call on that? And how would you like it to be? Like splitting the bill or you paying most of the time because you feel like a man if you.
And I also want to ask the girls listening to this, if there are any.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
there should be a lot of girls listening
should
to this.
be.
Girls, tell me something. Would you be comfortable paying the bill, splitting the bill on the first date?
Oh.
On the first date, like you know.
Or would
I
you,
remember
would you at
you-
least mention it on the first date?
Absolutely. I remember like I had a first date, bro, and this was in Pune, and this chick, bro, she's really nice, beautiful, good chicks, very smart. She worked at some place like a marketing job or something, and she was so adamant on splitting the bill,
Yeah.
so fucking adamant. And it's not like we had a bad experience or something, like you know.
Something about Pune and Bombay chicks, bro. And something about Delhi chicks, bro. That's
Dude,
separates
she
it.
almost got aggressive. Like, she's like, I want to fucking pay the bill.
Give me the check. Give me the check.
Yeah, let's split this. I'm like, let me get this. Let me
Yeah.
get this. It's okay, you know.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Let's chill out. She's like, yeah, I had a great time, and I want to split the bill. I want to split the bill.
That's okay for you, man.
Like,
Crazy
okay.
motherfucking bitch.
Chill.
Split the fucking bill.
Yeah, we did split the bill.
Pay it all you want, man. Fucking chill. Suck my dick too. Just saying.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And then like I was thinking about this the next day. I was like, hey man, like why was she so fucking aggressive about that shit, man? Maybe I actually even asked her, and she
Yeah.
told me that you know she likes the fact that she is able to afford her own things.
Afford her own things.
Yeah, like if she goes out and eats, like she wants to be able to pay for it.
Yeah.
And some part of me was like, why is she being such a like you know? I don't want to call it a feminist or an equalist thing, but why is she like making it a thing? Like, why is it a thing in her head? Like, it has to be. But then at the same time, why am I making it a thing that I have to pay the bill?
Just think about it. If you were with your guy friend and if he said, let's split the bill, you'd be
Fuck
okay
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
Fuck
But
yeah.
it's something about the gender, man.
Yeah.
There's something about men wanting to feel like men and paying the bill. It's almost like the gladiator mentality, or even in the animal kingdom, you'd see all the male
Yeah.
would want to impress by, like lobsters, would impress by having fights around female lobsters, and the one lobster who wins
Yeah.
gets all the women. It's all about masculinity in animal kingdom, but it's also about status and power and the ability to pay and show that you're a man who can
Providers.
provide.
Yeah.
And that's so stereotypical.
It is
under
stereotypical.
misogynist society, and you're promoting it in a way. I think if you want to promote equality, not feminism, I hate the word for some reason.
Why?
It starts with F. Why not equality? I mean, I know it's a different cause about things and how women were oppressed in an entire movement, but also the movement I don't really say.
I don't know much about it, bro. I actually don't know much about feminist movements and all these things.
Probably,
I know for a fact
keep
that
it really chill and not talk about it today, though.
for sure, yeah, we don't even have that mental bandwidth at this point to talk about feminism.
Like, feminism is a deep goddamn.
And I think it's a good thing to just accept. I would not think twice about accepting the fact that I don't know much about it. I actually don't know. I'll probably have to research more and then think, okay, what is it about? Like, you know, is it about equality? Is it about what is it? But fuck that,
equality,
bro.
equity, and opportunity.
Maybe you know what? Maybe we should have a feminist on the podcast, like a real feminist who is a feminist in the real sense, not like a pseudo feminist
No
or
feminazis.
no feminazi. Like, you know, someone who can have a conversation and maybe enlighten us about it.
Somebody
you know?
who's not aggressive about splitting the bill. that was good, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, hey, if there's any girl like a feminist listening to this and you wanna, you know, enlighten us about feminism,
Email us.
for sure.
Leave
We
a
should be
comment.
like open to all kinds of people to like have
Sure.
conversations.
I'll
with,
get
man.
a-
It's the Brown Boy show.
I'll
you
get a
know?
racist, I'll get a Nazi, I'll get a Soviet Union supporter, Pakistani.
Where are you gonna find a Nazi from, bro?
A Nazi. Ooh.
Damn,
A
we should
Nazi
have a Nazi
supporter.
on the podcast. That would be so kick-ass.
Like, yeah, for sure. They're dead perhaps, but like, you know, sons and daughters of Nazi. I'm pretty sure like the West did not kill the children. They jailed like, you know, Nazis.
Dude, have you ever noticed like in every drunk Diwali party, there's that one uncle who talks about Hitler and he really loves Hitler.
Yeah.
You know, like
Hitler's
there's one
someone-
uncle in your family who loves Hitler.
I love Hitler for his mind, not his actions though.
Yeah.
I love Hitler for his mindset.
Have you read the Mein Kampf?
Yep, I have.
Yeah.
Both the
Same.
parts.
There's two parts?
2 parts. If you've read it, you'd know. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest with you, bro.
One in the jail in the tower that
Yeah.
he was kept, and one when he released and started the thing.
You know what I read? I read the part where he talks about his childhood.
That's part 1.
Yeah.
Part 2 is when he gets jailed and gets released.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So he was a painter, right? He wanted to be a painter.
He wanted to be a painter.
Art guy.
Yeah.
Turned out to be the leader.
He was talking about his conflict with his father and he was talking about his conflict at school.
Father
And
was a civil servant, could not get into art school.
yeah. Could not get into art school.
Joined the army.
Yeah.
Went to fight the French guys. Got shot in the balls.
Yeah.
The Frenchman said, "I shot a man in the ball. Let me leave him, and you know he can die." And you know,
I don't remember. I read it, so I want to read it again probably, man. I don't remember shit from
Hitler
it.
was always about to die. He lived with one ball, bro. So there's something about they say you have balls.
Hitler had one ball.
One motherfucking ball.
Ouch.
Man with one ball, creating that much chaos.
Dude, I had blue balls yesterday, bro.
Something about balls we want to talk about.
Dude, I had blue balls. If you have like if your balls hurt, it really hurts, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like your balls can if somebody smashes your balls,
Yeah.
you can't explain that pain to anybody, dude. Like, you know, it's probably to a guy who's felt it.
Yeah, a lot of guys won't feel it with like good internet connections because everybody lives with them. A great internet connection and good websites to go to and release the pressure in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm aiming at, right?
I have no fucking idea, dude. But like, dude, we've been going at it for the past 1 hour now, man.
Yeah.
1 hour, 3 minutes, bro.
I thought like make it a 1.5 hour thing or
Uh-huh.
maybe like about 1 hour for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm liking the conversation
For sure.
for sure. It's a good like chiller conversation, man.
Dude, tell me about the race, bro. Like, tell me your experiences about the race. I told you about Palak. Like, you know, that was one highlight for me, man. But like taking the inspiration from her and like the way she fucking did it, and like there were a lot of other things. But like, tell me your experience. Like, what was your highlight from the race that we did in Solang?
The highlight was probably the stretch, man. From not the running on the road, of course,
Yeah.
but like there was a stretch where there were massive boulders and rocks and just a stretch of like, you know,
After the track, the van track,
the
right?
van track,
Yeah.
like the dirt track.
The dirt track.
After Dundi Pull,
Mhm.
Dunda Pull, something like that. And man, that was crazy, bro. It felt like I'm at Stonehenge and running across rocks, and there are cracks, and I could really mess it up. And there were guys who were much faster than me there. So I realized something which gives me anxiety and fear of twisting my ankle, I'm slower here. There's so much psychological aspect to running as well. It's not just physical because I wasn't feeling fatigued, but there was so much like I could fall and hurt myself, and I wanted to stop that inner bitch voice. and say like.
What was it saying? Like, what was your
It
inner
was
voice
saying, it was saying, go
Stop.
slow, go slow, go slow. And the other guy said कि जहाँ पे नुकीले पत्थर हैं उस पे पैर रखते रखते चलो. I mean, I knew the theory and everything, but you know, the moment I saw guys passing me, and I felt like, why is that my motivation when I see people passing me? Why is it like when I see competition, I want to give my 100%? Why can't I give my 100% nonetheless? And I'm having so much talk about how I've lived my life till now, and you know how I would want to live my life when I go back to the city.
Yeah.
And there's also this talk about focus now, focus here, be here. You're thinking too much. You're thinking about who you are, but that's also like I don't want to lose that. But especially the part when we were from Biaskund and climbing up, that took
That
so much out
last
of me.
ascent was
Ascent
brutal, bro.
brutal, took so much out of me.
Brutal, bro.
So we crossed from Solang Valley to Biaskund, top of the pass, and descended from there towards the start of Solang Valley again. So we crossed two valleys and close to 30-35 kilometers and like 2,050 meters of elevation. So 2 kilometers.
2,000 meters of elevation.
2,000 meters,
Yeah.
like 2 kilometers of vertical elevation.
Yeah.
That was a lot, man.
Fucking technical, bro. And it wasn't like a run. Like most of it I did like walking. I was just walking.
You can't run if you're
can't
running.
run.
If you're running, you just like messing
Huffing
yourself
and
up.
puffing, bro. Like I could
Sure.
feel my lungs burning, man.
Yeah. Next time, one learning is like get those sticks, man.
Yeah.
We need
Dude,
to get those.
that's cheating, right?
For sure. I mean, they did write it in the description. You could get it
Yeah.
if you want to, but they wrote it for the 60 kilometer and the 100 kilometer version.
Yeah, I think for 30,
It shouldn't be allowed.
It
for
shouldn't
30.
be allowed.
Yeah, man.
Makes
it
no
makes
sense.
it super easy.
super easy.
That's a
it's
technical-
almost like you're flying. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you don't have like when you have your feet on the ground, you
Yeah.
feel gravity.
Makes
When
sense.
you have sticks that are holding you up, you are literally suspended in the air.
Sure.
So you can move forward, propel yourself.
Yeah.
And you can literally propel yourself. It's
Sure.
like a launcher, you know. You
Takes
launch
off.
yourself, go up.
Takes
Launch is जिसने भी मतलब वो करा होगा यार, like you don't get those sticks in क्या है वो what's that thing, that trek in that Mata Vaishno Devi yaar, Vaishno Devi.
Vaishno.
That was my first experience of trekking. Like it's like a hike.
Yeah.
It's like a stone cement thingy thing, and then
Yeah.
you have those sticks where you get those sticks there, right?
So, लकड़ी sticks?
लकड़ी
30
sticks.
50 rupees?
अबे मुफ्त में मिलती है यार.
Really? अच्छा, वैष्णो देवी है. It's a
हाँ.
religious place.
I mean वैसे बिकती भी हैं, like kids sell it over there.
For sure. Chopta Tugnath I went, kids are selling for 30 rupees.
For sure.
And
You can
also,
buy them.
You can buy them, rent it out, man. They also take it when you're coming down. The kids
Yeah.
are standing at the gate and say, आपने लिया था ना?
हाँ.
वापस दो.
मतलब you can buy them, rent them, find them,
Rent
whatever.
them,
But like
please.
I felt that propelling effect of those sticks,
Sure.
and then you have those really like it's an equipment that these guys brought.
4 limbs better than 2 limbs, and
Yeah.
your hands are just fucking lazy limbs anyway. So you're lifting so much, and you know what do you say, like excusing so much weight and pressure from your legs,
Right.
And
especially
when
when
you're
you're
going
going up.
yeah, and
Yeah.
going up like that and tuck 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 tuck.
Yeah, and we were doing it
Yeah.
through our fucking feet.
Feet, and I'm
And
just
we are
like,
Delhi boys.
Yeah, and I'm just like climbing, like it almost makes you like a dog or an animal on your fours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't make it difficult for sure.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy. Very.
Very easy. It's like taking steroids, man. It's like USADA should come in and fucking check these guys.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Like, what the fuck?
Olympic committee would say, fuck that shit, man.
Yeah, but like if it's allowed for the next time, probably I'll use it.
I'll use it too.
For
I
sure.
mean, it's-
Why would you want to have liabilities for no reason? Like if you can make your race easier and you can have a better rank.
Yeah, we had the hydration packs with us anyway. Like, you know.
Is hydration pack cheating? I don't think so. I think it's sort of a liability and an asset at the same time.
It was an acid, bro. Sometimes I felt my mouth was chapped and I just wanted something to just be liquid around my lips because they were like tearing apart, man.
Uh-huh.
With the wind gushing through my face. I just
Yeah.
wanted something to just moisten it.
Yeah.
And like, it was a good thing to keep sucking on that, man. It made me realize I'm 2 years old, man. Mother earth, I'm sucking on nippies. It's such a good thing. Hydration pack is great. You mix some Gatorade in it.
Yeah.
And you have electrolytes and you have like hydrated muscles and everything. Just the feeling of having that option on your back, and it's not like you're carrying a bottle. There were some savage motherfuckers, bro, carrying bottle in their hand.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it, bro, to the finish line.
Because they're dumb fucks.
They had a bottle like this on a climb from Solang Valley to Beas Kund, you gotta go
That
to
is
place
so
up.
dumb.
And carrying this shit in a bottle and running like this. I'm like, bro,
That's
you
so
shouldn't
dumb.
be doing it.
That's a
bro.
dumb move.
Yes.
In fact, like, dude, you
People
know, I
carrying their
ran.
diaries and like writing shit down. Like, what are you doing? Carrying their babies and doing the.
I'm gonna write the next best novel on this
Yeah,
race.
I'm sure these are the same people who overpack for their travels, bro.
Like me. Dude, I really overpacked this
You
time,
do?
man. Yeah, I don't do it
This time
usually,
you
but
did,
this time I did.
Yeah,
For
I
some reason, like there's something about non-planning. Like when you don't plan and you just to do things really quickly,
Yeah. Yeah.
then you just don't make the right decisions, man. You just fuck it up.
Yeah, you need to.
You can yawn, it's okay, man.
I did yawn.
You kinda yawn, but you were like you don't want me to yawn because yawns are very contagious, right?
Is it like that? I had no idea that I had that thought. Maybe you thought I did, but I did not.
I thought it. Bro, there's something about the night time, man. It's healthy to yawn, bro. I don't want to,
Is it healthy to yawn?
bro, I want to share this, man. Like, there was a girl I was seeing last year, a German chick, and
Such a Delhi boy you are, bro.
I'm just
Talking about girls and she's.
why the fuck not? Like,
Girls are nice.
who should I talk
I
about?
like girls.
Dude,
Girls
I
are-
learned something from her.
Yeah.
Really fucking fascinating. I learned something from her, bro. She told me, I think we were all chilling, 5 of us, we were sitting, this is in Gokarna, okay? So we were just sitting
Yeah.
after a very long day in the night, just sitting, no one's speaking a word. There's just silence, there's like stars on top of us, the beach is there, it's bioluminescent, it's beautiful, it's an amazing thing. Amazing bioluminescent. It was fucking magical. But then I saw her yawn. Like, we were going out, we were together, like, we were kind of together. And she was sitting next to me. She yawned. I looked at her. It's almost 11 in the night. Nobody wants to go to sleep because we were doing something. And I was like, why would you yawn?
That's what she said.
I said this. And she's like, I don't want to live in a world where it's not okay to yawn.
I don't want to live in a world where it's not okay to fart. But I'm the kind of guy who would not fart in public.
If you're yawning, you don't want to be called out on it because it's such a natural thing to do, dude. You don't want to stop your friends from yawning because you don't want to go to sleep. It was a very weird thing of me to say in hindsight now that I think about it because yawning is so fucking natural, bro.
And it's natural and it's not even an unattractive trait.
It's
It might
not
be a
unattractive.
turn off because it might give you a feeling that the other
It
person
wasn't like a
is
turn off, but I just
bored.
pointed it out. And I was like, why are you yawning? Why would you? It's like a bird, like a trip card or something.
So why are you scratching your head? So one of them.
But then everybody goes to sleep, right? If you yawn, then you see somebody yawn, you can't go fucking. Like, you yawning again, man. So I'm gonna
Am
start
I?
yawning. Yeah, kinda like you open your mouth and shit.
Yeah,
man.
probably say something. What's up with you and yawns, bro? You
Bro,
really hate yawns.
I don't hate yawns, but I'm fascinated by yawns, man, because I feel like it's true. You don't want to live in a world where it's not okay to. Yes, you should be able to yawn. You should be able to fucking eat with your mouth open. Yeah, man.
Don't know about that.
Fuck yeah,
What if
dude,
a
like-
fly comes in your mouth and you just.
Then you're just
chew it?
fucking unfortunate. Like, if your fly comes in your mouth while you're trying to eating your food, you're just an unfortunate fuck. But like, I have a feeling, man, yawning should be complete. Yeah, you should be able to fucking yawn whenever you want and like not think about people. I think I'm getting too personal about it. I kind of miss that girl, man. She's a nice girl.
Yeah. Text her. I'm sorry that I pointed out.
Maybe I'll tag her on this and
It's okay to yawn, guys. It's completely okay.
It's so natural and it's so cute and it's so normal and it's so fucking human, man.
Yeah, it's okay to fart as well as long as it doesn't make a lot of noise and wake people up. And also if you haven't had like a bad stomach for days and
Yeah. There's some weird farters out there.
I think they're
some
weird
ass
motherfuckers.
farts.
Yeah, some motherfuckers, just wearing the earphones and farting, thinking people can't hear them. Farters like that, unaware farters. And farters like who think they own their fart.
You know what really turned me off on farting? Like, there was a Rick and Morty episode where he farts and they show like the shit particles kind of coming out of his asshole.
Shit particles.
Shit particles, like literally like shit particles come out of your asshole and spread into the air. And I was like, that makes so much sense because at the end of the day, where is this air coming from? It's coming from your fucking colon. And colon has all the shit. So it's like tiny ass like shit particles. Like if you take a fart, like if you fart right now, they're like shit particles.
see the expression on my face talking about shit.
I'm probably like brain farting right now. But
I feel
like,
fatigued as hell, bro.
you fatigue?
Are you hungry?
Am I hungry? No, I'm not.
Bro, I'm fucking famished, bro.
Really?
I'm feeling hungry as a peasant, bro, after a hard day's labor, bro.
Oh, nice.
All because I woke up at 5.
Dude, we should order something like a pizza or something because like there is food at home.
I don't want to have pizza. I'll probably go home and eat then.
Really?
Yeah. So how about we end it?
Let's end this
Yeah, it's
motherfucker,
been.
man.
But before we end it, Naman, who's your pick for tomorrow? UFC Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. It's time. Eagle versus the highlight.
Bro, I think it's gonna be Khabib, bro.
You think so?
Khabib's gonna win. Khabib's gonna win in third round. Oh no, he's gonna win in the fourth round.
A fourth
By
round
submission.
By submission.
By submission, yeah. Like it's gonna be TKO.
I think it's gonna be fifth round. Goes all the way. Khabib wins by decision. Because he's mauling, but not to that level. But Khabib wins by points.
Mm.
I don't see Gaethje backing down. I've never seen Gaethje submitted. He's gotten more knockouts, and the way he knocked out Tony Ferguson, that just changed the way I look at Gaethje. But
Yeah.
man, Tony Ferguson never fought Khabib. Gaethje fought Tony. A is not B. B is
I
not
think it was
C.
the Dustin Poirier versus Gaethje fight just like kind of turned me off on Gaethje because I was like,
Gaethje was
damn,
crazy. He wasn't
yeah.
humble, man. He was
Yeah.
like doing well. But yeah, the way Dustin Poirier was
mauled him, man.
Mauled, yeah. And
Beat the shit out of him.
And he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Who?
Dustin Poirier.
Hmm.
Black belt. It
Yeah.
takes you more than 10 to 12 years to get that.
For sure.
And this guy's a Sambo world champ. Sambo
Yeah.
is like really close to wrestling, but with gloves and
Gloves
everything,
on.
you can beat like
Yeah.
Raghav
Can-
Cohen's about that.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Khabib too, but by points. Gaethje's.
What about the second fight? Sorry, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying like Khabib by points, and because everybody knows Khabib's game, they just can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what he's going to
He's
do.
too dominant, man. He's too fucking good, dude. He's just too good.
He's just too good, and
He's just too good.
he just knows what he want to do, and he does exactly that.
Dude, sometimes I think about Khabib and I feel like going for a run, man. Like every day that I like to break a sweat every day, bro. That's
Yeah.
one of my philosophies.
Yeah.
And I have to use some form of motivation, some person or something from my own thing. Sometimes I think about Khabib, bro. I think about the kind of dedication that motherfucker has had for his craft.
Fighting with bears and on that altitude.
Yeah.
Bro, we felt altitude in
Yeah.
the race. Training at that altitude and then coming to the plane and fighting.
Humbling, bro. It's humbling.
Yeah, you
It's humbling.
know you're better than the plane guys.
Dude, I was able to do 14 pull-ups in one go after coming back from so long. No kidding. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Never done
Something
that.
about high altitude training that makes you stronger in planes, man.
Fuck yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I played football. I'm much faster.
Yeah?
I've been able to do so many pull-ups.
Yeah.
High altitude training is a real thing. bro.
Sure, man.
It's a real phenomenon.
Sure. I could climb ropes like anything now.
Yeah.
It's easier.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap this motherfucker.
Yeah, cheers guys. Thank you for watching. It's been a long podcast, but if somebody stayed with us till now, you're a savage and we love
Yes.
you for it. And please comment if you've seen the entire.
Comment
We'll get
and
in touch with you.
subscribe to the channel. Subscribe
to
to
the
our
channel.
podcast, and
Yeah.
also we're gonna be dropping this podcast every weekend.
Yeah, every
Yes,
weekend. For
every
sure.
weekend, and we're gonna be more energized the next time. It's almost 10 in the night right now,
Yeah,
and this guy's
yeah.
not had any food, so we're gonna put some food in his system.
Yeah, some food. My sister.
And we're gonna chill and watch the fights tomorrow. Enjoy the fights, guys. Subscribe to the
Cheers.
channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, do these things, man. And we're gonna be dropping this very consistently.
Consistently, weekly thing. We'll get more guests probably. So
Yeah.
it's going to be the two of us hosting it.
Yeah.
And cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah. 1, 2.